we there yet? Dad, how long is this gonna take?
Look, pipe down, kids. I've told you, it's gonna be a few light years, but before you know it, we'll be at our new home. Looks like we got a flat tire. Look, I didn't really bring a spare. Well, let's just see how far we get, yeah?
Hey, Dad, there's a huge house over there.
Oh, well, let's just move in there.
Are you sure about this, Dad?
Yeah, it's a really long drive to the new house, and here's an empty house right here already. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to... Hey, what happened to Grandpa back there?
The seatbelt caught fire when the tire blew.
Well, that's a very bad seatbelt design. We should complain to the manufacturer once we've settled into our new home.
Dad, I feel sick.
Oh, son, I told you not to eat food off the side of the road.
No, you didn't.
Dad, you never mentioned anything about this. Oh, I thought it was just a well-established family rule. I'll mention it next time for sure. Where does it hurt?
Everywhere. I think it's flesh-eating bacteria.
Oh, well, that sounds highly contagious, son. You'd better stay in the car while daughter and I step outside.
But Dad, if I caught it from outside, it might be already outside.
Oh, good point. Well, we'd better stay inside while you step out.
But Dad, what if he's already spread it inside the car?
Well, one of us should step outside and the other stay inside, and then the third one sits in the doorway.
It's a convertible, Dad. Dad, I think I'm about to explode. Dad, my brother just exploded.
It's a tragedy. But people die all the time. When you think about it, death is just a different form of life. No one's immortal, really, at the end of the day, except for synthetic androids and their perfect creation.
Dad, I want to explore our new haunted house right away.
Go for it, daughter. Except it's not haunted. Stop calling it that.
What about all the skeletons in the front yard?
Well, just step around them.
But Dad...
It's probably nothing. Anyway, skeletons can't legally own property.
Hello. My name is Victor Sinisterson. Welcome to the house that I am standing in the doorway of.
Ah, so you own this house.
In a manner of speaking, you could say, according to some traditions of property ownership.
You see, we were on our way to our new home, but it's a really long drive, so we thought we might just move in here, if that's all right with you.
There's always room for more bodies.
Yeah, about that. What's the deal with all these skeletons?
That's nothing to do with me. They were skeletons before I ran into them. I was just driving up here in my house, bringing my collection of flesh-eating bacteria that I use for ethical scientific experiments. But by the time I got out, everyone had become skeletons somehow. An unfortunate coincidence of unrelated circumstances that could happen to anyone despite their best intentions. But don't worry, I certainly don't plan to kill you too. Not accidentally, at least. So, are you at all interested in medieval torture devices?
Am I? You've just named one of my main hobbies.
Perhaps you'd be interested in viewing in the dungeon this way the Iron Maiden I am constructing from the bones of my vanquished foes.
Dad, it's obviously a trap. Oh, look, daughter, why don't you go and have a shower or something?
Oh, what a lot of flesh-eating bacteria you're growing in here. Yes, it's good for the garden, amongst other things. I hope you wash your hands afterwards. I take all the precautions, of course. Anyway, over here, this is my masterwork. As you can see, it's a fully functioning Iron Maiden.
Well, quite an interesting hobby you've got going on here.
It's not just a hobby.
Yeah, Yeah, very impressive. You've innovated on the original design, creating something ancient yet modern. That said, though, you could have done a bit more. I see that the hinge here doesn't work too well, and
Interesting. There's only one thing I haven't perfected yet.
what's that?
I haven't been able to test its operational capacity. I had an assistant, but she was missing a few. She went to pieces, you could say. Totally fell apart. The pressure got to her. Her piercing intellect wasn't as sharp. There were some holes in her methodology.
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
She fell into the machine and died. From flesh-eating bacteria, not the Iron Maiden itself. An unfortunate coincidence that could happen to anyone. So I didn't really get to test the machine. That's why I need your help. Well, is it safe? Of course. The device is purely educational. Oh, okay, I will just step in. Purely educational to me. Hey there, daughter. It's your dad, exactly as you last saw me. Are you sure it's you, Dad, and not that creepy Victor Creepshaw? Hey, Victor isn't creepy at all. He's actually very learned and educated and misunderstood. He could teach you about classical music, Golden Age myths, even quote poetry. Now hold this urn and get back into the car. We need to be on our way to your new house before the flesh-eating bacteria consume this one. You're either him or you're in love with him. You just don't appreciate classical illusions, daughter. I could tell that as soon as you arrived into this world. What's in this urn, Dad? Oh, just poetry. You know I despise poetry, Dad. Or you would if you were really my real dad. Haven't you? You'll like this poem, daughter. I can't wait to read it to you on our long drive. It's a poem entitled An Ode to the Flesh-Eating Bacteria.